their correct seat. I mean, I put them in that seat for a reason.
So what is the positive impact of the kids that are going to their correct seat?
They're able to just get focused. They immediately know what they need to do when the room is like where it needs to be. Especially because like Edna has to be up there
Mm-hmm.
so that I can check her answers
Mm-hmm.
because that's in her IEP, or Jeray has to be way back by himself.
Because he talks to himself.
Yep.
All right. So for the kids that are going to their correct seat, they're able to get focused. They immediately know what they need to do because I put them in those places for a reason. Awesome. We also talked about having them put their extra materials in their seat sacks within the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
So what positive impacts have you seen because of that?
The kids who are much more focused. They're much less likely to pull out things that will annoy their neighbors or cause a distraction. And it's also easier for me to look at all of the desks.
Tell me more.
So I can check their work because they won't have like other papers in front of them as well.
Cool. So today I want to talk about how to respond when a student responds inappropriately. It's a thing, right?
Yep.
Good. So hopefully this is timely and helpful. I'm trying to think about how to model this because I'm going to need you to interrupt me. Okay. And you're going to interrupt me when I'm doing this. Blair, I need you to level 0, taking notes.
No.
Blair, level 0, taking notes.
No, I don't want to.
Thank you. Now, let's move on. And then we do the whole lesson, and then later on. Blair, earlier when you responded like, no, I don't want to, that was inappropriate. So I am going to take 3 your scorecard, but I didn't want to call you out in front of the class. So next time, just level 0. Okay. So, what are the key components of what I just did?
Well, it's off stage, which
Okay.
should work better for a lot of the kids who continue to be a problem.
Okay. What else?
So for the scholar who continues to disrupt, like I noticed you said thank you.
Because you did stop talking.
Okay. So
That's why I said
if
thank
they
you. I was waiting for you to
continue
interrupt me again.
talk, then what? For instance, like Irene.
This isn't acceptable, but we need to move on.
Okay.
And then try to move on. And if she continues to talk to a point where like, or if others start to talk because of her, then you do it again.
Okay.
And if that's still an issue, then you write her referral. Okay? So I asked what are the key moves, and you said I took it off stage. What was I doing when I took it off stage?
You were addressing them like on their level and in a way that isn't as aggressive as like
For the 3, right? Good. What else did I do?
You waited till they stopped talking.
Good. What else?
Aggressively monitored both times.
Okay. What else?
I mean, like bending down and being on their level.
Okay. I'm gonna do it again. I need pencil to paper.
No, I hate this class.
Pencil to paper. Pencil to paper.
And then if they shut down like this,
If it's not distracting the others,
Then
then you
just
say,
move on.
I need to move on, and then keep going. But if others are engaging and stuff like that, then you have to like say something.
Yeah.
And then I say, thank you. So what did I just do though?
you like stayed with the scholar who wasn't compliant.
And I repeated my directions, right?
Mhm.
I need your pencil to paper. I need your pencil to paper.
Mm-hmm.
What is the impact of going from pencil to paper to out loud? That's 3 for inappropriate verbal response. There's a couple of impacts.
It feels more aggressive to take
Mhm.
away 3. It changes what the direction is.
Mhm. Takes away from the original point. Yep.
And they just get more upset.
Mm-hmm. Good. And yep. So, what do you think is the goal of what I'm modeling for you today?
Oh, taking it off stage so that the key individuals who continue to have like really inappropriate responses stop derailing the class.
Mm-hmm. And the other things that I said were to get the scholar to follow directions and to keep them in their assigned seat. Because what's the impact if they're moving seats?
Other people think that they can.
Mm-hmm. And do they always move the seats when you tell them to?
No.
So that creates a further disruption, right? Okay. So, and again, this is like something that takes it off stage, keep saying that repeatedly, but I also want to make it clear that it does like let the students know that like you're still addressing it. You're not like letting them off the hook because they are going to notice that you come down later and they're going to remember why you're doing that. Because kids know that when they respond inappropriately that they're going to get -3. Like that's a school-wide expectation. All right, so let's think about your class.
Yep.
And what is your typical response when a student responds inappropriately?
The first time I'll do the lightning quick, and then the second time I'll just ignore them until it stops.
Mm-hmm. What else do you do?
I stay posted and I don't continue with the lesson.
I often see you also move their seat, like very quickly. So what's the impact again of moving their seat?
That it then takes even longer for them to meet expectation.
Great, and it disrupts the learning environment. And then what if they don't move their seat?
Then
Good, okay. I'm trying to think of, I wrote down a list of possible responses. And what's the impact of not moving on quickly enough?
more people will get sidetracked.
Mm-hmm. Like the longer you wait, the more kids you lose. That's like always happens, especially too when we say like find me or track me. It's like the longer you wait to move on, like the more people are gonna be like,
Yeah.
So it's important. Like as soon as I got you to stop talking, I was automatically like, we have to move on. Okay. So in thinking about what I modeled, I want you to stamp what are the things you're gonna do differently when a student responds inappropriately. What are you gonna do?
Have a verbal acknowledgement of if they do comply, thanking them for that. If they don't comply, it's inappropriate, but we need to move on. Making a list and then talking to them one-on-one.
Okay. I'm not hearing you say repeat the directions.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay, so I say I respond inappropriately, so let's stamp that again. What are the key moves you're going to take in order?
So repeat the direction.
Mm-hmm.
If they do comply, thank them. If they don't comply, say, like, your response is inappropriate, but we need to move on. Move on with the class. Come back to them.
Awesome. And then how do you follow up?
You follow up if there is enough time during the independent practice by going up to them individually and saying, like, you do get 3 points deducted because that was an inappropriate response.
Awesome. So
Do you explain to them why it was an inappropriate response, or are we assuming that
They know.
Okay.
They know. So I'm going to drop this into your action steps. When a student responds inappropriately, repeat the directions. conclude with a thank you once a student has met the expectation, move on and quickly maintain the pace, and then assign points later, like in IP, for example, and let them know privately.
Okay.
So again, what is the goal of doing this?
That there will be fewer derailments because of inappropriate responses.
And what is the other goal?
That the individual scholar will get back to what they need to be doing.
And stay in their assigned seat, right? We don't want kids moving to the back to their reflection decks as much and stuff like that. All right, so I want you to practice.
Mhm.
I'm going to be real life Angel Brady.
Okay.
Allie can go sit in her seat. Angel, talk. What? She was talking too. Angel, talk. Why isn't she losing a point? Angel, please be out of the here. Please be out of the here. Thank you, Angel. Scholars, now turn to the lesson passes. Good turn, you get the right back. I'm glad I worked in the rest of the class. And you don't need to engage. If she says something, you can just wait a moment in silence and then. Yep. Try to do that as quickly as possible because every time you slow down, they know that. Yeah. Okay. How did that feel?
Hopefully it'll be better for I worry about the kids who will just continue to refuse to comply.
I think in general, if you repeat the direction, that's helpful.
Okay.
Right? So, yesterday I heard you taking the points, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
You would just say -1 for voice, though, and so I think it would be more helpful, I think, to next time say -1 for voice.
The
Stop
expectations
talking.
level. Okay.
-1 for voice, I need you silent. I
Mhm.
think that for me that sounds better. -1 for voice, I need you silent.
Okay.
-1 for voice, I need you silent so we can take so we can take notes.
Mm-hmm.
-1 for voice, I need you silent so we can hear the video.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because if kids hear the why a little bit more, it helps a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They should know, but it's helpful to provide the context.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about